Hey everybody, it's Eddie J of Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. Hope you're having a good one. There is so much going on, like holy moly. Let's see, Bitcoin down all the way to 67,146, or a hair below 150. That wasn't fun. That wasn't fun at all. I got a lot of nasty grams. Shame on you people. Shame. What else happened? Let's go through the news this time. So, Bitcoin's hash rate hits an all-time high. That's a problem, right? And the problem is because it's going to bite into profits. That's why it's a problem for Bitcoin miners. That's why Riot wants to buy the other company, so they can consolidate a little bit and grow and increase their capabilities. So it kind of makes sense. Don't forget to hit the poll. I'm dying to know what you guys did today. Binance France gets rid of CZ. What up, Bianca? Binance France gets rid of CZ because of regulatory scrutiny and replaces CZ with, some French ownership in there. That was the big deal. I think countries around the world are saying, well, you still have a convict that's an owner over here. So that had to be worked out. I'm sure CZ is not mad. He's a billionaire, not worried about it at all. What else happened? Crypto firms seem to be fleeing Hong Kong. Apparently, there is more going on in Hong Kong than what people think. Companies like OKX are bouncing. They're like, yeah, nah, we're out of here. That's a big deal because China, remember, Hong Kong is owned by China. Elix, what up? So, China owns Hong Kong. They're very strict on crypto, and the firms are like, yep, can't take it anymore. We're out. What else is there? I mean, I have like 12 points. I'm just gonna rifle through. New York Stock Exchange. I reported this a couple of months ago. New York Stock Exchange is looking to do Bitcoin or crypto futures. That's actually a big deal. But they're also launching a financial management tool alongside Coinbase, or partner with Coinbase. CoinDesk. My bad. Let's see, Coinbase, Kraken, and Circle. There are now two groups that have come together to create some sort of an oversight in the crypto space. Two groups, and they were both formed in less than 2 months. This new group, Coinbase, Kraken, Circle, and a couple of others are involved. I think even Consensus. So that's saying that like I said, last time, the industry is reacting to lack of regulation. Actually, not even lack of regulation, lack of help is what I would say. I think that would be better, is to say lack of help. PayPal has extended their PYUSD. I think that's just stupid. Anyway, they extended PYUSD to Solana because they're looking to bring down fees and all that kind of stuff. So that's actually a smart move. Big news on the day. Big news on the day. Gemini has stated that they are going to be able to pay back everybody that was involved in the EARN program 100%. Now, they're going to give back their digital assets from what they had back then. So imagine, now that you have your digital assets from way back then to now, what that value increase is. Because way back then when it happened, Bitcoin was way cheaper. Way cheaper. So now the value of your Bitcoin now is going to be greater, as with most of the coins that are out there. So very interested to see what goes on with that. Obviously the SEC is looking into it to see what's the real deal with that? How is that actually going to work? Blah, blah, blah. So we'll see how that pans out. But just the fact that they recouped all the money. And my question now is, does that mean the battle between Gemini versus Genesis and DCG, Digital Currency Group, does that mean that's over? That's done and dusted, right? Maybe. Do I really care? No, I care that everybody's going to get back their digital assets. That's what I care about. And I'm going to be interested to see what they do with it, because it's about $2.1 billion, 2.1, 2.3, someplace between there. So that's going to be interesting to kind of watch. the Shiba Inu team is warning people against celebrity tokens, celebrity projects, any kind. Why? Because they can be spoofed. Just look up Ziggy Azalea or Siggy, whatever the hell her name is. I'm really not a fan of hers. So Iggy Azalea, Iggy Azalea. There you go. Icky, same thing. Mastercard is looking for a new pay to play service. It's a crypto transaction pilot of enabling people to use aliases to flip money between each other. It's almost like using Cash App or something else. You use @ and you just @ them and then you send them their money. I think it's almost like that. But I'm dying to find out what kind of fees would be involved. And they launched that pilot. So it'll be interesting to see in the long term. It'll be interesting to see how credit card companies react to the new crypto world. Because again, I don't need a middleman for Bianca to send me crypto. For me to send Elix crypto. I don't need a middleman for that. Middle person, sorry. I don't need anything for that. Right? Elix is probably sitting there. So, dude, give me send me my coin, man. So I don't need a credit card company for that. They're also, remember how else credit card companies make money? They take funds, right, by selling aggregate data, right? So who sold what? I mean, who bought what over at, let's say, Target, right? How many people from New York spent their money on travel arrangements? They sell aggregate, data like that. They strip all your personal information, stuff like that. But that's what they do. So what would you be doing once everybody starts really adopting and leveraging crypto for transactions? See what I mean? So yeah, they're trying to figure out their way. And I would think that they've got a period of time right now, right? They can get involved right now, insert themselves as middle people for people that, really don't want to do stuff. Cool, got it. That'll last for a few years, right? Just like CDs and discs lasted for a few years, and then hard drive space got cheap. Everything has memory in it. Your car has memory in it to save your music. It's like that. Show me the money. You know what, Elix? I will show you the money when Bianca shows me the money. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. I'm just going to put it out there. Bianca's probably cussing me out right now. Citadel-backed Hidden Road has cut off Bybit. And it's because of regulatory scrutiny. I think some of these banking institutions that provide on and off ramp services are kind of in a hard spot. So I'm not mad at Hidden Road. Do you get the name Hidden Road, Silk Road? Get it? Anyway, I'm not mad at them for reacting the way they're reacting, because the regulatory landscape is so fluid that they don't know what to do. It's hard for them to react. So it's interesting. My money is chilling in Chainlink. Copycat. Freaking copycat. Anyway, we'll get to Chainlink in a little bit. You see that, Elix? She's being cheap. She's being cheap to me, man. I'm not gonna be able to hit you off, man, because Bianca's, she's not sharing. She's not sharing at all. So here's something I didn't realize. Back in September, Hashdex had applied for their Ethereum spot ETF. Maybe I did catch it, but they applied for their Ethereum spot ETF. They pulled it. Like out of nowhere, they just pulled it. So the SEC approved 8. There should have been 9. They were like, nah, we're just joking, and pulled it back. And I'm kind of like, why? What happened? What happened with? So I've got 5 votes, and some people bought on the dip. 60% of you guys bought on the dip, and 40% are still licking wounds. Just putting that out there. I'm looking to see how many people actually vote. Bianca, did you vote? Elix? Corey, you out there? You normally say hello when you show up, so maybe you're at work. Deutsche Bank. I don't know if you guys know. It's one of Germany's largest banks. Deutsche Bank is hurting. Deutsche Bank is looking for profit and they don't know what to do with themselves. Victor, haven't seen you in a minute, man. How you doing? So they're trying to figure out ways to increase revenue. So what do? They hop on the Bitcoin bandwagon is what they do. They're starting to get on there and starting to say, okay, so everybody's out there doing crypto. We need to do crypto. So they launch an Ethereum-based platform for tokenized money. Tokenized money. I'm going to need somebody to explain that to me, but okay, fine. Tokenized money. I'm wondering who they're giving the services to. That's really what I'm wondering. Right? Who's looking for those services that they would start that business? And what's the projected growth for that business is what I'd be interested in thinking of. Why am I thinking this? Well, because it's a traded stock. So I might not buy it, but other people might. So yeah, that's why I'm interested. I want to know why. Because have you looked at everything that's been going on in the crypto space as far as traditional companies are concerned? They're all developing their own Bitcoin or crypto strategy. They're all starting to wake up and go, yeah, if we want to turn profit or if we want to make up some losses or whatever, we're going to have to get involved in crypto. How long do you think it's going to be before some company offers to pay their people in crypto? Even partially, right? Even partially. Can we buy some? Can we get some crypto up in here? Tell me that's not interesting. That's to me, that's wickedly interesting because it had started a while ago. Like I said, Mayor Eric Adams of New York City, portion of his money gets paid in crypto. I looked into Swift and it's about to be some crazy stuff going on. You think, Bianca? Haven't I been telling you that for a while? Swift got in bed with Chainlink. Chainlink developed CCIP. Well, actually, let me rephrase. Chainlink created CCIP. Swift got shook and said, we're not going to have time to build our own stuff. We should get in bed with somebody. And those guys got something. They got in bed with Chainlink. Chainlink is going to be walked into 11,000 banks all around the world. Either they're going to be walked in or those banks that are going to come knocking. Facts. These are facts. So all that headway that XRP was making, yeah. One of the first projects that was getting involved with different banks were XRP and Stellar. Back in the day when I first got involved with this stuff, they were the ones that were working with all of them. And then here you come, basically, in comparison, here comes this upstart, Chainlink, walking in the door with Swift. Because wouldn't they all like to get rid of Swift? My settlements would be faster. My cross-border transactions would be, everything would be faster. And more importantly, everything would be cheaper. That's what I'm talking about. So I'm just sitting here and I'm just going, so how is XRP going to respond to that? Tokenization is happening with the world's largest oracle, Chainlink. And you have a few other oracles that are popping up. Yeah, sure. But Chainlink is the one. Chainlink is the one running around cutting deals. Big deals. Not little ones, big deals. Is that going to be good for Ethereum? We shall see. We shall see. Would you use their platform? Chainlink? Is that what you're asking me? If I would use Chainlink? Chainlink, the project that I have big bag in? Yeah, I'm joking, but yeah, I would totally trust Chainlink. Absolutely. But I do, like I said, I do wonder about what XRP is going to do, right? And then if I'm wondering about XRP, I should have the same wonder about Quant, about Hedera Hash Graph, about IOTA, about XDC, because supposedly they were all built to work with institutions. That was the original idea. They were going to work with institutions. And I haven't heard a peep out of any of them. Not a peep. Now, Hedera Hashgraph has made some moves money-wise, growth-wise, and have come back and made some money. But these deals, I don't hear any of those companies making deals like this. I mean, Chainlink is making deals with big banks. Big banks. Not ETBT, no, big banks. So I'm kind of like, so what's up? How long is it going to be? How hard is it going to be for arguably the second best Oracle, like Pyth, to catch up? Like, can they? I don't think they can. Chainlink's got a stupid lead on them. They'd have to come out with something that is so fast, so secure, so cheap, and have all the data that Chainlink has when you work with them. Yeah, I don't think they're there. I don't think they're there. Stitch was here for a split second and then he just left. Sorry, guys. He's only ham sometimes. My daughter's home, so he's not trying to be down here. Something else to happen. Goldman Sachs is getting deeper into crypto. How is that? Again, tokenization. The biggest pieces that I'm seeing right now going on with crypto, 3 of them: tokenization, settlements, and DeFi. Project Guardian happening over in Singapore involving DBS, JP Morgan, I think Citigroup was involved, Polygon. Wow, there's a big flash of lightning right there. Like it was big and bright. Polygon, Aave, and Uniswap. That's still going on. And banks and other companies are still signing on. Still getting involved. That's big. That's really big. Very true. They're fulfilling BIS goal of cross-border payment. But see, BIS has an issue with crypto. BIS's program, I told you guys yesterday, BIS's program, either yesterday or this morning, one of the two, BIS's program for 2024, 2025 is to dive into tokenization and CBDCs. It's a problem. Give me the loot. Good evening, brother man. Actually, I don't know if you're a brother man. You could be a sister man or just a sister. I don't know. So good evening. Give me the loot. It's my fellow smart aleck over there. So that's a lot of news to come out, right? If you're looking at the biggest news to hit the waves, it's going to be obviously SEC approving, 8. If they didn't approve 8 Ethereum spot ETFs. What they approved was the rule to allow that to happen. The second part, the S1 registrations, still needs to happen. That takes a few weeks. So we'll see how quickly that happens. And then poof, then you have Ethereum spot ETFs. And we're all pretty sure that's going to be an inevitability, right? So that was big news. But all of this stuff going on around institutions, right? Banking institutions, tokenizations, settlements, and DeFi. And I'm going to point out something that I pointed out, a couple of weeks ago or something like that. Cross-border transactions are a very big deal, especially when it comes to repatriation. Like I said, for instance, if you're a United States company and you have a European arm makes money. If you want to repatriate that money, you're going to get hit with taxes. So now how do you record flipping that transaction from fiat to crypto? Crypto is stateless, meaning it doesn't belong to a country. That's not how it works. It's not owned by any country like that. They don't control it like that. So how are you going to account for all of the taxes when that crypto comes back home and they flip it to fiat? How does that happen? So accounting rules are going to have to be adjusted when you stop and think about it. So there's a lot to actually, that's why I keep saying, pragmatic seems to be my word of the year, but that's why I keep using it, because you're really going to have to take a step back and you're really going to have to understand what it means for impacts on account, just regular accounting, impacts on taxes, because repatriation of money for any country is a moneymaker. That's why so many companies have such big problems repatriating money. The accounting costs alone are ridiculous. Now imagine the taxes you have to pay. Think PYUSD will last, or will USDC outcompete? Hey, Dubs Dollars, thank you for that. I appreciate that. He's saying get the likes up. Yes, get the likes up. Let me think. Give me 1 second. Let me think about that. All right. I'll answer it like this. The world's #1 stablecoin is Tether. It's an algorithmic stablecoin. The second largest is USDC. It is a fiat-based or fiat-backed stablecoin. Tether is multiples larger than USDC. Will PayPal win out, or at least be able to exist within the same space? I don't know. And it wouldn't be because there's not space for another stablecoin. That's not how I'm looking at it. Thank you for that. Hello, Paula. That's not how I'd be looking at it. The way I'd be looking at it is PayPal has to be run more efficiently for them to be successful in the crypto space. So for instance, you can right now go to PayPal and buy crypto, but you cannot send it anywhere. So did you really buy crypto? No, you did not. You gave a company some money to hold for you. That's what you did. And they've earmarked a certain amount of crypto in your name, but you can't send it anywhere. As compared to Cash App, where I can buy Bitcoin, and a split second later, send that Bitcoin out to somebody. Or one of my other wallets, thusly making it my Bitcoin. PayPal doesn't do that. Is that the smart way to do it? So I would never buy crypto on PayPal. I can buy it, but I can't. That basically says I can buy it, but I can't use it. What's the point? That's dumb. So for me to believe that they're going to be successful going forward, I have to believe, that they've given thought to what the business model is supposed to be. They have a great service, but they seem to make money in spite of themselves. My mother used to say that all the time. Not about me, but about people in general. Dubs Dollars, man, I love how you move. You keep us informed. Oh, dude, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. My mother would be proud. Give me the loot. Is Cash App your go-to for DCA purchases? No. Here's how I think about it. I'm trying to teach you guys that you first need to understand, do the research on what you want to buy, right? Who's involved, how long they've been involved, how much is in circulation versus how much is being held by the team, what the value is, how long it's been out there. Has the team ever been involved in anything else, like a rug pull? Has their name been associated with good projects? Just keep in mind that's, basic research, right? Are they doing something that's different than somebody else? Are they doing the same thing, but they're better at it? Just whatever. You do the research on what you want to buy. Okay? A lot of you do that, but a lot of you miss something else. What you're missing is the idea of what you want to sell. Now, believe it or not, just because you buy something using this route doesn't mean that your return route to sell it is going to be the same exact way. Right? So I ran into an issue with Chain Jelly. Chain Jelly's issue was they're using an old wallet naming construction for Toncoin. Toncoin is changed, right? You know, a slight change. It's like a single letter change, but that single letter means something. And Changelly hasn't made the switch yet for the new naming convention. And so if I want to sell my Toncoin, which I don't plan on doing that anytime soon, but if I want to sell my Toncoin, I've got to go a different route to sell it. So when I'm doing DCA, right, dollar cost averaging, getting on, let's move away from the term dollar cost averaging in this case. Let's call it on-ramping, because what you're really asking me is, do I use Cash App to on-ramp fiat to buy crypto, right? And sometimes that is the route, but I really give thought to what I want to buy, how I want to buy it, where it is available to me, right? Because depending on what country you're in, what state you're in, you may or may not have direct access, which means you've got to find indirect routes to and from what you want to deal with. So like I said, if I want to sell my Toncoin, I've got to go find an exchange that deals in Toncoin, set up an account, sell my, flip my Toncoin over there. That's 2 steps, right? I've got to flip my Toncoin to that exchange, and then sell my Toncoin or flip it into a stable coin, so that stable coin can go back to wherever it is I want it to go. So is it my default? No, but I have a list of how I can on-ramp my money, how much money I can on-ramp, right? And then how I can off-ramp my crypto back to fiat. I hope that answers your question. Let me know if it does not, and I'll do better. I have so many wallets. Bianca, yeah, I have a lot of wallets too. So like I keep telling you guys, I actually have an Excel workbook where I can track what wallet has what, right? And then if I have, it's going to pour right now. Wow. Because I can hear the thunder. What wallet has what? And then how much of what coin I've purchased, and then line by line for each purchase, what my purchase price was, what my fees were, because maybe I had to take 2 or 3 steps to get to what I wanted, right? And so I total up the fees and the price of the transaction, the price of the coin itself, and I put that together and I come up with my strike price for that one purchase. Then it will aggregate all of the same coin and take all of those numbers and then give me my new strike price by taking all of it into account. I bought 5 at this price with these fees. I bought 2 at this price with these fees. It'll take all of that and do it. I track all of that in my workbook. And then, of course, it'll give me a dashboard, how much I'm up, how much I'm down, just, across my whole portfolio. One of the biggest things is that I have, a tool that will let me say, here's the wallet that I used. Something else that I really, 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 really love about this workbook is the fact that it's not a part of a third party, right? I'm not giving away my data to have to do it. Now, there are times that you're going to have to do it. Like part of my data is, over at Coinbase, because I've made purchases and made sales with Coinbase. So Coinbase has those transactions. Then Binance, OKX, MEXC, whoever, Gate.io, whoever has the transactions I've done there. This workbook enables me to capture everything right here. Now, there are services out there that will connect to, there are third-party services that will connect to several different wallets and help you do the same thing. I have my workbook, and then my team is working on transferring what I do in my workbook to be another third-party choice. Whoa. Did you guys hear that? I don't know if you guys heard that. That was huge. That means so it was a lightning, and then a split second later, the thunder. That means the storm is basically a half mile away. I'm thinking more from a fees perspective for scheduled or regular. No, my DCA is manual. I do not automate jack when it comes to my purchases. And the reason why is because if I automate using whatever, and that was a good question, thank you. If I were to automate what I was purchasing. Let's say Coinbase, and I'm on an automated, purchase. My dollar cost averaging happens automatically over there. What happens if I'm automatically buying Bitcoin and their fee goes higher? I don't realize it until after the transaction, and I could have purchased that Bitcoin via another way, cheaper. So all of my DCA happens manually. My workbook helps me track all that. I sit back and I go, how much is Bitcoin here? How much is Bitcoin there? Or how much is whatever coin I'm interested in? Because remember, I'm also looking to make money off the transaction. Because, I'm a miser. So I will be looking to see here's the coin I want. How can I get there with whatever transaction? So maybe I make a purchase here, transfer it over there to sell it, made money on that transfer, bought the Bitcoin, transferred it over here, and now I'm holding it in my wallet. But because I made that unnecessary transaction, right? Instead of going in a straight line, I went like this. Because I made those, actually it becomes 2 transactions over there and then back into the process. Because I did that, I made money off the transaction. I've done that like a lot, so that when I want to invest $1,000 in a coin, I can take that rack and identify the path that I want to take and maybe come out a few dollars ahead because I made back money on transaction fees and everything else. There is still a difference between certain exchanges when you do certain things. And depending on how fast you move, you can take advantage of those price differences and actually make money on the transaction. So I put in $1,000. I mean, this has happened a lot. I put in $1,000 and I come back out with, $1,050 in like 2 minutes. Boom, boom, boom. So I pay attention to what I'm doing every single time. And my DCA strategy, remember, my DCA strategy is for things that I'm holding, not things that I'm trading, right? So it's a shorter list, because I know you might be thinking, oh my God, if you have 15 coins that you're DCAing into, that's going to be a lot. It would be a lot of work. But I've got a shorter list because I only hold certain things, right? For long-term investment versus what I'm going to trade. Whether it be in a day, in a month, in 3 months, that's a trading wallet versus my hodling wallet that I've had for years. So that's how I think about it. Let's see. I keep a similar workbook for NFT trades. I do it for everything, whatever I buy. But you know what? I don't really count NFTs. I don't count NFTs or domain names. Like my company purchases Web3 domain names, Web2 domain names on behalf of our clients. And even myself, I don't count those as, investments because they're being used for something. So for me, it's like going to a store, buying a hammer. You know how it is. Would you dump your XRP? Hell no. Hell to the no. That was a good question, though. Would I dump my DMAC wants to know, and welcome DMAC. DMAC wants to know, would I dump my XRP for bonk? No. I'm holding XRP for a reason. That's being hodled over there. Whatever money I put into bonk, I'm just doing bonk, right? I'm not in the habit of flipping coin unless I have to. Like taking a coin that I already own and then flipping it over here unless I see a tremendous downturn in that coin, right? That I think they can't recover from. So take Hedera. I had enough with Hedera, right? I was going to sell the whole bag. And so I went to Change Ellie and I was going to sell the whole bag. I tried to sell the whole bag and then I messed up. I totally forgot to put in a piece of information. And so I messed up the transaction. So your money doesn't get lost. They send it back to you. That's why you put in, where do you want your return to be? So they sent it back to me. By the time they sent it back to me, I was up $100. Hedera just at that moment, just timing wise, Hedera started coming back. And that was a lesson to me that, hey, you should hold on. Now, the same thing did not happen when I was holding Chili's. Remember Chili's with the whole soccer thing, the whole football thing? Well, I was like, oh, I'm going to go buy a bag of Chili's. I'm going to make out because boom. Yeah, that didn't happen. So I dumped all of my Chili's. I dumped all of my CRO. and I bought Ethereum Polygon. I bought Bitcoin, but what was left over from my purchase of Ethereum and Polygon just remained in Bitcoin. That's how that worked out. So it's not always that I'm willing to give up on a coin. I'll just hold it because it's already money sunk. You know what I mean? So like right now, Optimism is not making me happy, but all of my other coins are making me money. All of my other projects are making me money. The only one that I'm negative on, actually, you know what? Optimism, there's Render. Optimism's all the way down here. It's not making me happy right now. I'm down, and I'm not even down a lot. I think I bought like 10, 15 cents above where it is right now. So it's not so bad. It's not the best, but it's not so bad. Put anonymous me, were you going to say something smart and that's why you deleted the message? We see you. What else was it? Did I catch everybody's question? Because they don't get highlighted, and you like, this is not me asking, but unless you like, send me a super, I could miss your message. Which Web3 domain extensions do you buy? I'm not sure which is best. There is no best. Remember when the internet started, you could buy .com, you could buy .net, and everybody was confused as to what you bought. I just buy everything. I really do. I just buy everything. I just buy it all. Right? So not only do I purchase the similar names, but I'll buy the similar names in each one. Not the dumb ones like .info or whatever, but I'll buy unstoppable domains and I'll buy Ethereum name service domains. Cover my bases. And I forgot which one was it. Is it unstoppable domains or Ethereum? I think it's Ethereum naming service that you've got a time limit. It's like regular domains. I buy them 10 years at a clip. I don't want to have to think about it. It's mine for the next 10 years. By the time it comes up again, things could be different. I could be croaked and it belongs to my kids now. Right? Whew, beautiful lightning. You can see the trees and everything. It was really nice. Wish I had a camera. I would have caught that. But the idea is that, you got to buy them. You got to know what you want to do, how you want to do it. And then you make sure that you cover yourself, because you don't want somebody buying your name, your exact name. If you bought it over here at Unstoppable and they bought it over here at, Ethereum name service, you want to snatch it. Snatch both sides, especially if you're doing your own project. You want to protect your project. So when I'm consulting businesses, that's what I tell them. You want to protect your brand, you've got to buy it all. It's a small investment. If you're a small, tiny company, you're just getting started, buy 1 year. For each, buy 1 year. And then when you grow up, instead of renewing for 1 year, you renew for 10 years. You renew for a number of years out. And I think it's unstoppable domains that you once you've bought it, you own it. That's what I kind of like about it. I'm trying to see if I missed any other questions. Paula, did you have any questions? The big Web3 names like Walmart, Beyonce, etc., are big bucks. That's because they don't care to get it, because they don't understand what it means to own it. And here's the real kicker, though. Let's suppose I go out and I bought a copywritten domain, right? A trademark domain. Both of those services have a method for the trademark owner to claw that back. So it's kind of silly that somebody would go out and buy Walmart. Now, you could go to Walmart and say, hey, I want to sell you your name. I paid money for it. So it's not like they can just call it back and not give you anything, but it is rightfully theirs. So there's a mechanism for doing that. But yeah, because I've done it with a couple of companies, couple of private jet companies, where I've bought their names in both places, so that if they decide to go do something, they had to come talk to me. I even bought it for my friend's hedge fund, and I called them up. And I was like, dude, talk to your marketing company. Are they going to do anything in Web3? Because they don't own your company name in Web3. And he was like, what? I was like, yeah, go check to make sure. I was like, Go check that out. Make sure. If they're not going to do anything, then they don't care. But if they're going to do something, well, maybe you could, break me off a little piece because I own it. And if you're not going to do anything, I've got a cool name that I can use, and they can't do anything about it. Gave you an opportunity, just like that. Paula Mortimer, I'm still getting a handle on crypto. I will in the future. Thanks for asking. Of course. Perspicacious is scooping Cardano. Not mad about that. Although, Cardano got flipped today, right? I was going to bug you about it. Cardano got flipped today. Cardano for a split second was out of the top 10 coins. For a split second, they were out of the top 10 coins because they had gotten flipped by Toncoin, but Toncoin dropped a little and Cardano had risen a little. So Cardano had come back, but Shiba Inu just blew by it. Like right now, Shiba Inu is at 16,242. Actually, oh yes, Cardano is at 16,242 and Cardano is at 16.99 and Toncoin's at 15,655. Not to be left out is Avalanche at 14,198. So Avalanche fell backwards a bit over the past 7 days. They've dropped like 8.62%. I'm looking at it right now. But I keep telling people, don't sleep on certain projects. I've been telling you guys for a minute, the top 25 coins, remove the stable coins, right? Remove the stable coins from the mix. The top 25 coins are no joke projects. You must show respect. What I love about Cardano is the sure-footedness that they take in making a move. You don't hear about them going down. You don't hear about hacks. You hear about nothing. You hear about jack. Now, could they do better with marketing who they're working with, the kind of projects that they're working on, touting their timeline, giving advice, doing things like that? They could do something like that instead of Charles going out posting pictures about stupid crap. Smart guy, but that's not how you're going to get your coin out there. So the only reason why Cardano is as hot as it is because loyal fans like us. So, all about Q4. Q4 is going to be good for Cardano, but here's the thing. Q4 is going to be good for everybody. It's not going to be just Cardano. It's not going to be just Cardano. And what gets me is the speed at which Toncoin grew. That Toncoin is giving problems to Cardano. That's got my attention in a major fashion. DMAC, ADA is building their empire in Africa. Yes, they are. Yes, indeed they are. But they don't talk about it. They're very quiet about things. So one of the things that Cardano can do, if they really want to make noise but stay quiet, up your transactions, up your trade volume. Like, you know what I mean? Like, be quiet, but walk with a big stick. Your big stick would be your trade volume. Do that on a consistent basis. People will talk about that. People love playing the technical analysis game. And those are important numbers for people to pay attention to. So they could do something like that. I remember you did not like Ton. Yeah, I didn't like Ton, you smart aleck. I didn't like Toncoin. Here's why. I spent too much time associating the open network and one of its founders, who happens to also be a founder of Telegram, and certain nefarious characters that are using Telegram, because it seemed like every single scam I've ever heard of was on Telegram, right? So I just put the hate on Telegram, period. And when he came out with Ton, I was just like, yeah, nah, you're sharing in that hate. Screw you. But then you start to see what they're doing, how they're doing it, why they're doing it, the way they're doing it. And then you go, oh, okay, I guess I can't get mad. Then you start to dig into how secure, the reason why these people are using Telegram, right, is because of how secure and how dependable Telegram is. So I had to remove myself. I had to separate that, right? My emotions for, certain things versus how I want to spend my money. And it took a minute. So stop laughing at me. Name me another smart contract L1 with a max supply besides Cardano. Name me another smart contract using UTXO. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You always come at me with, a little bit more of the technical stuff. And I get it. I totally get it. But look at it from my perspective. From my perspective, it doesn't matter. Think about it. It really doesn't matter. There's never going to be one coin to rule them all. That's never going to happen. It's not. There's too much traffic for one coin to handle everything. Impossible. Well, nothing's impossible. So that's not going to happen. Right? So whatever technology you're using, like Hedera Hashgraph has great technology. Like great technology. They're not going to be number one. They're not going to be the only one ring to rule them all. That's not going to be them. So what we try to do is pick out what projects have the capability to sustain constant use, blah, blah, blah. Okay, Cardano is definitely in that space. You know what I mean? Like, so when I think of connective tissue, I think of who's working on what L1. You have to name Cardano. So you have the top 15 coins that you can think of that you could say, well, yeah, they all have the capability of sustaining a great amount of traffic. Even Shiba Inu. Shiba Inu is in the top 10, people. Shiba Inu is in the top 10, and they're still a far cry from Doge, but they're still in the top 10. So it's 8 is Dogecoin and 9 is Shiba Inu. Dogecoin's market cap is 23.6 and Shiba Inu's is 16.2. So that's a far cry. However, Shiba Inu and Toncoin take the same approach in that they're all about being used for transactions. So the transactions go up. So that's one of the reasons why I like Toncoin, because they're like, yeah, we're focused on the 900 million addresses in Telegram itself and start doing something like that. So I find that to be mad interesting. So that's why I got into Toncoin. Excuse me. And I had to eat it because, and like when I was buying it, I was like, oh, I'm going to be honest and I'm going to tell everybody I'm buying Toncoin. Oh, and it was painful. It was painful to do it. But I was like, it's going to make me money. I did the analysis and all that stuff, did the research. And I was like, it's going to make me money. And it has. So yeah, I had to eat it. I had to feel it. You feel so bad about Ton, man. Yeah, I feel bad about making that money. No, I feel bad that I had to be honest and tell you guys that I bought some Ton. You want to know what I felt even more bad about was letting everybody know that I actually purchased some meme coins. And I actually wasn't embarrassed by it because, my first meme coin was Doge. My son told me. Second meme coin was Shiba Inu. My son told me. Third meme coin was is Dog with Hat. And then another one that I got my hands on was Bonk. But I also keep those over here in trading wallets. You know what I mean? So I'm ready to rock and roll with those at any point. And when I look at those, I'm taking more of a Forex approach. If I have to dump Ton, which is slowly eking itself over to the hold section, to the hodl section. If I had to dump whatever coin, what's the Forex play, right? So if that coin is up, what coin is down? And are that set of coins something I want to buy into? Because then, yeah, boom, I'm into it, right? And I'm flipping from one coin to the next, or I'm flipping from whatever coin to a stable to the coin that I wanted. And probably making, money on the transaction because I might be catching this one on the down while this one was on the up. Or if this one that I want to sell is on the down, I'm still looking for something that's a lower priced, right? So I can still make a good deal or at least make a lateral move. So that's part of my strategy that I use. I was shocked to hear you changed your mind on ton. Yeah, Bianca, you people are just love throwing salt on the wound. Just, yeah. I was shocked. You were shocked. I was shocked. And then, I think one of the things that got me over the hump was remembering what my son was telling me about Doge, what he was telling me about Shiba Inu. You know what? I forgot to tell you guys. He actually made me buy Saitama Inu, which, crashed and burned. But I only lost $100 on it, so I didn't care. I mean, I cared, but I didn't care. That's the only one he missed on. And I had totally forgotten about it until I was working on the workbook today and I saw it. But yeah, I had to stop and go, because my son can be very surgical, right? He can be very like, nope, this is what the research says. Boom. No feeling whatsoever. So thinking about that reminded me that managing your money is an emotionless business. Get me? Managing your money should be an emotionless business. When you're thinking about your transactions and everything else, emotion should have nothing to do with it. Just like when you buy a house. It's a nice house. Okay, that's really nice. Yeah, all right. No love, no anger, no animosity, none of that. Just no emotion. This is business. Slice it up, dice it up. Is it a good choice from a business perspective? DMAC, yes. What did DMAC say? I predict 2025 will be the year of utility. Would you agree or disagree? Hells yeah. Hells yeah. I tell people all the time, except for meme coins, what does your coin do? Right? If you're not doing anything, why would I be interested? Are you coming out with better technology? Or are you coming out in a space where that space is still a burgeoning space? Okay, then I might still be interested. Because then other factors come into play, right? Like right now, take for example, I think the best example is Pith and Oracle. Wow, that was so bright. You could actually see the green on the golf course. That was amazing. I love nature. And when I was a kid, I used to look up photography and especially lightning strikes, people that used to catch those. But look at Pith versus Chainlink. Pith, I think, has better technology than Chainlink. But Chainlink has such a run ahead and so many connections. It's so deeply rooted that it's going to take Pith forever and a day to eat into that. And they might not ever eat into it. They might have to carve out their own space to grow their potential growth or to power their potential growth. So utility definitely, and I don't think it's gonna wait until 2025. Frankly, think about what's going on right now. Financial institutions, are working with things that have utility, settlements, tokenization, obviously cross-border transactions, and DeFi. They're all looking for utility right now. Retail is the side that hasn't caught up to that. We're still buying based on oohs and ahs. That's when everybody catches up to utility, some of the volatility is going to go away, because utility means adoption. Adoption means I can go to the store, I can go get my bacon, egg, and cheese, right? My Bustelo, that's my coffee in the morning, right? And keep it moving. I pay with crypto, boop, and walk out, keep it moving. When things start to happen at that level, like that, that's when you're going to start to see people start to really get into utility. Something else is, you also have to remember, there are very few of us that actually understand crypto. I saw something the other day where people, one of the articles, and I cracked the heck up. This article said 57% of the people are going to be, holding crypto as one of the points for them making a presidential, guess, choice. And I sat there and I was like, that's impossible. Because what was it, like 70% of the people admitted that they don't even know anything about crypto. Huh? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. So yeah, but I think you're absolutely onto something. From now forward, it's going to be about utility. Look at the kind of moves that are going on right now. Even the news that I gave you tonight. Go over to, where you see the description. I have all the bullet points in there. Take a look at that. Look at all the moves that are happening. They're all based on utility. They're all based on use case. Yes, they are, but it's like they are working with those companies in the dark. They're not working with those companies in the dark. Not at all. Not at all. They want the credit. Why do you think these news articles come out? They want the credit of being forward thinking because they got caught behind the gun for so long. So they want everybody to know, oh yeah, we're doing this for settlements. Oh yeah, we're doing this for DeFi. We're doing this. We're involved in Project Guardian. We're blah, 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 blah. The only one talking out of the side of his neck is freaking, Jamie Dimon. That's the only one that's talking out of the side of his neck while his company is working, neck deep in crypto. Oh, and paying $100 million fines because, they didn't pay attention to, billions of transactions. They didn't monitor them properly. Oops. They're going to be hiring a lot of people to fix that now. That's what that means. Whenever you hear a bank that does something wrong and they have to pay millions and billions, you can immediately expect that bank to start hiring. They hire the consulting companies first, the big four, big six, whatever they are now. They hire them first, and then they hire the staff to come in and do the work that the big four say that they have to do. My friend asked about the $7.5 of Bitcoin in her Cash App. Cash App buys Satoshis with her change. Leave it as Bitcoin, but what's the problem? I'd leave it as that. Yeah, D-Mac. And perspication. Dude, I got to find a nickname for you. I should call you Persp or Purse. I need something shorter because that's too long. Let's see. Yeah, right. Yeah, right, Jamie. He's regretting it now because he got caught. He got caught doing it in a way, yes, because he was manipulating. He was telling you, look over here while we do this over here. And did you notice the other day he started talking about, well, yeah, I'm probably going to retire sooner than I thought. That's how it starts. That's how it starts. They need better leadership over there. She's wondering if it'll be big money. Anonymous me, you should know better. That's $7.50. Even if it doubled, it's only going to be $15. She still won't be able to go to the movies, and buy the nasty popcorn. But she should, but I would tell her to, do something with that money. I would tell her, add to it and really get in. Explain to her what it is. Be a good friend and buy her a copy of my book so she can learn about crypto. That could be something we could do. Hutanic. Cool. It's kind of like, Hootie and the Blowfish. So Hutanic. All right, coolness. She doesn't understand. Exactly. Buy her my book or tell her to buy my book and she'll learn about crypto. She's sticking her toe, her pinky toe in the water is what she's doing. Not mad about that. But, if she's got a friend like Anonymous Me who's all about it, she has a resource to learn from. She could buy my book and learn even more. Did you hear the? This is not a political channel, so I'm not even going to talk about that. Because the last time I did that, I tried to use one of my videos for an ad, and they said it was a political ad. So yeah, not even going to talk about that. Not even gonna touch that with a 10-foot pole. We'd have to take that offline. It's It's 57% of you guys bought on the dip. Sounds like some people are still licking their wounds. Wow, that's interesting. I know, but yeah, they stopped my ad because they said it was a political ad. This is not a political channel, so that was a pain in the tail. You want to hear something funny? Then I chose another article that was clean as all clean. And then they said, oh, well, you're talking about crypto, so we can't run your ad. And I'm sitting there. This is YouTube. And I'm sitting there and I'm going, wait a minute. So I have, I'm talking about crypto, real information, delivering news. Meanwhile, you have these deep fakes, pretending to be Michael Saylor and everybody else. And they're allowed to place that ad and I'm not, and I'm delivering news. Make it make sense for me. Make it make sense. I'm getting scared of the banks thinking about turning cash reserves into packs in my cold storage. Deposits at banks are such a risk. How do you think about that? I'm trying to remember. Was it last week or the week before last? I told you guys that I only keep a certain amount of money in a bank. I only keep a certain amount of money in the bank. I keep enough to cover transactions, but for which I have to pay in fiat, right? And even then, I don't necessarily hold that money there. I will transfer the money in. Right? That's what I'll do. And you don't have a problem with a bank unless you're holding over 250 grand, because there's your insurance. FDIC kicks in. So yeah, I'm not so worried about it at that point. But then again, I'm not necessarily trying to hold 250 grand in any bank. Why? My money's sitting there losing value. I'm not worried about the bank losing my money. I'm worried about my money just straight up losing value by sitting there. At $250,000, you're not paying any fees, right? So your money is safe in that regard, but your money is not making money for you. And if your money's not making money for you, you are losing money. So it's not that I'm afraid of keeping money in the banks. It's that it makes no sense to me, right? It makes zero sense to me. I'd rather hold that money in almost anything else. The only time that I would want to hold money in a bank is if I think cryptos are going to explode. But even then, shouldn't I have just moved my money over to a stable coin? Let me get in on some of that circle. You know what I mean? Or, just find a high yield savings balance or something like that, savings account, and put it in there or something like that. But excuse me, you really want to pay attention to how much money you need, how much money you require for your monthly expenses, when you need to have money for those monthly expenses. Manage it that way. Manage it that way. You know what I mean? Don't be afraid. You're a smart dude. You know what you're doing. FDIC has no promise of when they make you whole, like FTX. No, not like FTX. FTX, they do not have to make you whole. That's the difference. FDIC does. Right? But again, what are my monthly expenses? How much money do I have to leave there? Oh, I don't have to leave that much? I'm not going to leave. That's how much of a deposit I'm going to make. Cover my expenses. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. So, lead without fear. Don't worry about it. Have you heard anything about Apple using render? That whole thing was indirect. There has been no confirmation yet from what I've seen. It's just the same crew that's behind render are doing something else for Apple, and everybody got their panties in a bunch, thinking, "Ooh, something is going to happen." It wasn't happening. That doesn't mean that it won't happen. Doesn't mean that it won't happen, but it's something you're going to have to pay attention to see, if it eventually does happen. The storm came and went that fast. Wow. Like it was moving mad fast. Is there anything else? Hutanic, $700 billion in reserves, backing 11 trillion deposits. I go back to what I said before. Doesn't matter. In my case, in your case, it might matter. In my case, doesn't matter. The answer for me is no. The answer for me is absolutely no. And the only reason why is because, again, I'm basing how much money I have in a bank based on what my bills are. So the way I learned this is when my mother, when I was young, my mother taught me that I have to have a checking account and I have to have a savings account. And she said, you hold all your money in your savings account and only push money over to your checking account to pay bills. Because back then you couldn't pay bills from your savings account. So you only push that amount of money over to pay bills, and you just keep building your savings account. This is all before, I was learning about, stocks, bonds, and all that stuff. So I use that same idea, except my savings account is one or more of my businesses, real estate, if I need to be a little bit more liquid, crypto, and other vehicles. That's how I look at it. Kim Paul or Mortimer, I need your book ASAP. I will send it to you. I will send it to you. I've owed you a signature, a signed copy. RD Yogi, I have an active futures trade of Bitcoin with an entry price of 68,409, long 20x. Should I book 25? Oh yeah, nah. I can't do that for you, bud. I don't give financial advice like that. Nope. I can get in trouble for that. So no, I can't answer you on that. I also don't muck around in futures, and I don't leverage, right? So I wish I could help you, but I don't. I can't touch that. What we normally do here is we talk about, strategy on what we're doing and stuff like that. By the way, what you're talking about, my brother Elliot, he's like my best friend, he was doing the same thing today, mucking around with futures. I didn't ask him, what his ex was. Moshe, what's up? Thank you. You're welcome, bud. Haven't seen you in a minute. So yeah, what's up? Artie Yogi, cool, but thank you still. My pleasure, man. Sorry I couldn't answer that question for you, but to give financial advice is to invite me going to jail, and yeah, I'm too pretty for that. I mean, I know I got to shave, I know that, but I'm too pretty for jail. I can't do that. Besides, my mother made me a promise that if I was ever going to go to jail, she made me a promise. My mother keeps her promises, that I would never make it to jail. She made that promise like straight up. Boy, if you ever go to jail, don't you even worry about it, sweetie. I got you, because I will kill you myself. Fear of God. I'm done. I'm a grown ass man right now. Fear of God, still have it. But yeah. So anyway, we've been on here for a minute. It's been a while. I love these long ones. I need to write a book about my mom's advice. I guess the name of the book would be Tanned Hide. I think that would be the name of the book. But yeah, we've spoken about it a lot today. Just remember, every time I make one of these, do the videos, there's always, I'd say 99% of the time, I take the bullet points of what I'm talking about and I put it in the description so that you guys have a heads up on what I'm going to be talking about and why, right? And then we get into the conversation, and then we go off and talk about what we're going to talk about. And it's usually a bunch of Q&A. And I love the Q&A. I love that because I learn from you guys, and I hope that you guys learn from me. Anyway, if you like what I'm doing, just drop me a ha-ha, drop me a thanks. Don't forget to hit the subscribe if you're not subscribed, but if you're chatting, you're subscribed. We do have some news. I'm holding off on telling you guys, but we do have some news. It's really cool news. So if any of you guys are actually content creators, you're going to really be interested in it. It's huge. And I'll be making that. I should be able to make that announcement this week. But it's really, really big. We're like crazy excited about it. We're also going to be talking about the roadmap. So we'll be talking about news about a release that we have now, right now. And then we'll be talking about our roadmap going forward and what we're going to be doing, how we're going to be doing it. You're most welcome. You're most welcome. You're most welcome. Thank you very much. Everybody enjoy the rest of your day. I hope you have a good one. Check out growmybag.tv. All the articles are there too. Have a good one. Bye-bye.